Thank you very much, Monica. Welcome into the semifinal edition of Friday Night Football. This time next week, Sac-Joaquin Section champions will be crowned, and we'll be looking ahead to some NorCal Regional Bowl games. In Division 1, the team to beat is the defending state champion Folsom Bulldogs. They're kicking off our coverage tonight in our ABC10 Game of the Week. The top-seeded Bulldogs hosting number 5 Monterey Trail, a rematch from last year's section championship game. The Bulldogs have dominated this division for the better part of a decade, and the visiting Mustangs punch first. Caleb Ramser punching it in for the first touchdown of the game. Monterey Trail up 7-0 in the first quarter. But here come the Bulldogs. Senior quarterback Jake Reithmeyer calling his own number, finding a hole, taking off 40 yards for the Folsom touchdown. This game turning out to be a knockdown dragout. More from Caleb Ramser here. You'll see him taking it in for another short touchdown run, putting Monterey Trail up 24-21 at halftime in Folsom. I believe that's 21-14 actually. The Mustangs start to pull away in this game, though. The Bulldogs have reached the section championship game for the last 9 years straight. They haven't lost a playoff game since 2016, but that streak coming to an end tonight. Down go the Dogs. Monterey Trail knocking off the perennial powerhouse at their house, beating Folsom by a final of 35-23, avenging last year's section championship loss, and for the first time, TJ Ewing's Mustangs just one win away from a division title.
We had talked about that right after that championship game. We were in the locker after the game, and it made a commitment all year long to focus on what's right, and we really felt like our guys bought in, our senior class especially, small but mighty. A group of guys that have roles, and they know their role, and they lead us to victory. And tonight was so evident.
All right, so once again, the Mustangs are back in the section championship game. The Bulldogs losing in the section playoffs, snapping that streak of 9 consecutive trips to a championship game. And the Folsom Bulldogs will be heading up the hill, or we'll head up the hill from Folsom, just 11 minutes east to El Dorado Hills for the semifinal matchup in Division 1. The Oak Ridge Trojans welcoming in the undefeated Intercom Tigers out of Matomas. The section title game on the line. And if you like touchdowns, Oak Ridge High School was the place to be. First quarter, Aaron Aspero providing problems for the Trojans. 2 of his 3 scores on the night, Justin Lamson and his Trojans keeping pace, though, trading touchdowns with the Tigers. Lamson going to work here. He finds Avanti Jacobs, who will haul in this beautiful catch. Oak Ridge takes a 21-14 lead. Gui Lozada adding a pair of touchdowns of his own, putting the Trojans up 28-21 at half. Oak Ridge cruises from there, handing Intercom its first loss of the season, eliminating the Tigers from the section playoffs, earning a date next Saturday with the Mustangs for a Division I section title at Sac City's Hughes Stadium. Playoff game set for 8 p.m. All right, now let's head to Elk Grove. The Thundering Herd heading across the 99 to face the Cosumnes Oaks Wolfpack, second-seeded in Division 2. The first quarter, visitors get on the board first. Check out Hunter Hall bouncing to the far sideline. He goes all the way 67 yards to the house. Elk Grove taking an early 7-0 lead. The Herd running all over CO in the first half. This time it will be Jeremy Crook hitting pay dirt, putting Elk Grove up 14-0 in the early going, but Cosumnes Oaks finally getting on the board in the second quarter. Anthony Grigsby Jr. will cap off a nice 80-yard drive for a touchdown run here, putting the Herd proving to be too much for the Pack tonight. Quarterback Carter Harris will run it in for another touchdown, giving the Herd a 21-7 lead in the second quarter. Elk Grove pulling off the upset, knocking off Cosumnes Oaks by a final of 28-20. The Thundering Herd facing the winner of tomorrow's Whitney Jesuit game in the section title game. Moving into Division 3, the Capital Christian Cougars hosting Manteca, and the Buffaloes go on the road, beating the Cougars by a final of 20-14. Here's the celebration here as the upset goes down at Capital Christian. The winner will face Placer in the Division 3 section championship game next week. Now remember, you can find complete list of scores online at abc10.com/sports, and we have extended highlights from all of these playoff games and more throughout the regular season on our ABC10 YouTube channel. And tonight's fan game of the week, taking us out to Rio Linda with longtime friend of the show, Mark Willis. Stick with us. More Friday Night Football coming up after this.
We are the Rio Linda cheerleaders, and you're watching Friday Night Football on ABC10.
Thank you, ladies. Now it's time for everyone's favorite part of the night, our ABC10 fan game of the week. No Johnny football tonight, so we're sending back out our OG, Mark Willis, who's checking in with the defending champion, Rio Linda Knights. Take it away, Willis.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Two run-dominant teams with Sierra and Rio Linda for a Division IV showdown. This is a battle, a hard-hitting battle. Let's get to the action, find out what happened. No score when Rio Linda strikes first. QB Abraham Banks keeps it himself, and the all-league QB punches it in 7-0 at the half. The Timberwolves tie up the score at 7 when Shane Johnson rolls out and connects with Matt Dunham. Rio Linda's quarterback Banks had to leave the game with a shoulder injury, leading to a Sierra pick 6. It's Shane Johnson. He goes all the way, 14-7, T-Wolves. Is that really a T-Wolf? I don't know. Then it's 21-7 Sierra on this Kimoni Stanley score. Down 14, the Knights come back. Kyle Delaney Spencer, he scrambles around, then he throws it deep to Scatterboo. He makes the catch. Touchdown, Cameron Scatterboo. Ben Paul, number 9, he loves it, gives his quarterback some props. With 2 seconds left in the game, the Knights have a chance, but the rush from Sierra is too much as Scatterboo goes down. It's ball game. The defending state champs go down to Sierra Timberwolves 21-14. I'm Mark Willis, and that's the Fan Game.
Thank you, Mark. Upsets abound in this semifinal edition of Friday Night Football. We've got more where that came from. We're heading to Escalon and the Corral at Oakdale after this. But first, the Cosumnes Oaks cheerleaders take us out to break.
We are Wolfpack Cheer. You are watching Friday Night Football on ABC10.
Welcome back. Let's head to the Corral at Oakdale. The Mustangs hosting the Merced Bears for Division IV's semifinal matchup. The Oakdale Mustangs jumping out to an early 3-0 lead after a field goal in the first quarter. Merced responds. Seth Scheidt passing to Alfonso Gary in the back of the end zone for a 22-yard touchdown. Bears take a 7-3 lead. Let's see what the Mustangs got. Still in the first, Zeke Safar taking the handoff and breaking off a 54-yard touchdown run, putting the Stangs up 10-7, and from there, Oakdale runs away with the victory, 51-27 the final. The winner will face the Sierra Timberwolves in the D4 championship game next week. Now to Escalon, the top-seeded Cougars hosting the Sonora Wildcats in the D6 semifinal game. The home team had a 14-7 lead at halftime. The Cougars bust this game wide open in the third quarter. Check out Luke Anderson punching it in for the Escalon touchdown. Cougars up 26-14 at this point in the third. Sonora trying to come up with an answer, though. Nick Crockett handing the ball off to Hunter Faust. Faust fumbles. It's recovered by an Escalon senior. Jacob Walden, scoop and score action. First of 2 for the night for the Cougars, up 33-14 at this point. The Cougars defend their home turf with a 40-14 win over Sonora. Escalon will face Hillmar for the Division VI championship game next week. Coming up tomorrow, the Division II semifinal matchup between the 9th-ranked Whitney Wildcats and the number 4 Jesuit Marauders. Kickoff for that game set for 1 p.m. That is all the time we have for you tonight. For everyone here at ABC10, I'm Lina Washington. Have a good night. We'll see you back here next week for the section championship games.